Good evening, this is the Oscar expert here. Just back from the Cannes Film Festival, it's time to review Close, directed by Lucas Don't. The film's about a 13-year-old boy named Leo and his close friendship with his friend Remy. They have a very intimate relationship for two young boys, and then this friendship is disrupted, and it's really about Leo learning how to process his emotions. This movie is a real tearjerker. The subject matter is frequently very sad, and for some of you, this is really going to take a toll on your tear ducts. In my opinion, sad subject matter alone is not going to be enough to make me fall in love with the movie. I think when heavy events happen in stories, they need to be justified by how well the movie navigates that subject matter and what it's able to pull out of it. And I do think that for the most part, this movie really packs a punch that goes beyond just the surface level sadness. The movie's really about a young boy's relationship with his own emotions and his feelings. Our character's friendship with his neighbor is really beautiful. Just watching the two feel so open and comfortable with each other. But as they go to school, Leo becomes aware of how that close male friendship might be perceived by his classmates, and he starts to pull back on his friend. This movie did take me back to what it felt like to be 13 years old, and how that's probably like the most difficult age to be vulnerable, because that age is like the height of being overly socially conscious. And it's an age where you're often in social environments that force you to be hyper aware of what you need to do to adapt and to fit in. I think it captures the experience of being that age really well. The directing in this movie is fantastic. I felt so locked in with our main character in every scene. And I felt the purpose of every moment. I knew exactly where he was along his journey. Even when our protagonist is just riding his bike in silence or is at hockey practice, we're able to see through him and see which feelings he's actually struggling with beneath the surface, and even which feelings he's avoiding. This movie is beautifully shot, with soft, gorgeous, bright lighting. The smooth, speedy tracking shots that fly alongside our main character riding his bike or running with his friend really stand out to me. The movie really is like a sensory experience, and has a really good score as well. Every close-up in this movie is also just gorgeous, and Eden Dambrine, our lead actor who plays Leo, is just unbelievable in this role. I think he should be winning the Cannes Best Actor award for this performance. His acting is just so vulnerable and transparent. A lot of this movie just relies on watching him in close-up, and he gives so much to the audience. Gustave Dewaele is also amazing as Leo's friend. Their chemistry is so powerful, and the tenderness that they share reverberates throughout every single scene, even when the two of them aren't on screen together. Another amazing performance I need to shout out is Emily Dequenne. Similar to the lead performance in this film, she's able to bring so much with silence. I will say this movie is so constantly heavy that I almost felt a little worn out by it, and there were some scenes later that I don't think I got quite the emotional punch I was supposed to out of it because I felt a little worn down. And I also felt like the climax of this story was a little expected, though maybe there's something to be said about the simplicity of the story overall, but I felt like I got a little more substance out of, say, the first third, whereas the last third played out really nicely, but not in any way that I wasn't really expecting. A24 bought distribution for this movie right before it premiered at Cannes. I think that this one will be talked about throughout the year, and despite some minor holdups that I have, I think this movie's really beautiful and absolutely worth seeing. I'm kind of in between an 8 and a 9 on it. Maybe I would rewatch it and see if it can go up. Thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing. How close are you to me on this screen?